The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
So Morris Media Live.
I'm still excited. Sorry, people. I'm still excited.
I don't know when you're going to stop doing that every time.
Never.
She's like a little kid waiting for the camera like, and then I forgot my lines.
I'm too excited. And then I'm like, oh, wait.
No, you know what it really is? It's because we be watching the intro. We'll be watching it with y'all like, oh, look, okay. And then it starts and we're like, hello.
Hey.
And she knows the intro because she made it. So she should be ready.
I heard it over and over and over and over. Well, but then it's still so exciting. But anyway, welcome to You Got 15 Minutes. I hope you enjoyed that wonderful intro. There'll probably be an updated one coming soon. Just wait on it.
Right.
So don't trip. Don't worry.
What? It'll happen.
Okay,
yeah. You'll get it together. And then she's still going to be excited about it.
I was going to say, and then guess what? It'll start all over.
Right.
But
nonetheless, thank you for coming back to see us. Thank you for joining us again another Wednesday at You Got 15 Minutes. I am G. This is my lovely co-host,
JGreen.
And your boy JP.
And we're back. We're back at it again. Another week, another 2 weeks has gone by.
Yeah.
How have you guys been?
I've been good.
Yeah, it's been good.
It's been great.
It's been weird.
It's been grand.
The world is slowly opening.
It is.
It's been kind of gradually happening. I walked to a store and nobody looked at me weird when I didn't have a mask on. And
really?
And then I realized I was the one with the mask hanging from my ear, but not on my face.
I don't have my mask
and nobody else had a mask in their vicinity, on their person. The people that work behind the store didn't have a mask on.
Really?
And this is in Paramount. And they were just like, they were looking at me like, and I was like, so it's kind of weird that now we're getting the reverse effect because the world is slowly, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's been kind of weird because I just moved to Paramount. So I've been walking around.
I'm like, right, that's what I did.
Why. Yeah.
The past week was
help me move. But yeah.
Okay.
What did you do over the last time we've seen you?
Oh man, a lot of contemplating, a lot of reflection,
right,
a lot of work.
I'm like, hold on. Look at the lineup though. Do you see the lineup?
The precision.
He over here looking real champagne poppy-ish right now.
Oh my God.
He living his light-skinned dreams.
I got that. You feel me?
Just don't start doing those goofy ass
Shout out to my barber, man. You hooked it up, bro. Shout out to my barber.
Who's your barber? You got to shout out your barber.
At crispycuts.310, I would love to go to the gram and pull him up, man. He know I'm gonna show him love. I always do anyway.
Well, we can post him up later.
Yeah, we'll post him later.
Yeah. Absolutely,
definitely show him
does his thing.
Yes.
So it's been a wonderful week.
It's been,
like I said, reflecting.
He's like the barber did me right. I ain't got nothing else to say. You feel me? I'm here. What else?
All that matters is that I look good.
Yeah,
it's like, pretty much what he's saying.
What else
is
you
there
need
to know? How was Mother's Day? How was your Mother's Day?
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. I made my mama some shrimp and grits.
Hello.
I gave her some flowers and a card, so she liked that. It was sentimental.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Moms kept it. Well, my sisters are new moms now.
Oh,
nice.
Congratulations,
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Shout out to my little niece, D Breezy.
Right.
Oh yeah. Okay. But so we pretty much brought them some breakfast, did a little kind of like breakfast brunch type of thing and whatnot. It was cool, real chill, laid back, nothing too major. And I believe an uncle came into town. Was it Mother's Day weekend or the weekend before that after we did the show? But yeah, that was tight too. When he came in, he surprised my peoples. You know what I'm saying?
Family's always
so nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love my family. Shout out to y'all.
Right, I'm about to see my family in a couple of weeks when we go to Georgia.
Right, we finna go to Georgia.
Ready. Yes.
Yeah, we gonna talk about that too.
Yeah, there's certain things we can't talk about because we don't want it there's some secretive things happening that weekend, so we don't want to give all the cats out the bag.
Yeah,
but
we can't.
We're going for like a baby family reunion on my side, and since she got family there, we're trying to incorporate some of the family together.
That's what's up.
And
That's
make
how
it
you
a
do it.
whole thing.
We both went there together before.
This time last year.
Hello.
Was it?
Well,
no,
we
that
went to
wasn't
Texas.
last year.
Yeah, it was.
Oh no,
The year
no.
before.
I'm saying Atlanta.
When did we go to Atlanta together? Oh yeah, when
family
we surprised
reunion.
my sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it,
That
okay.
that was fun too.
Well,
That's
that was
what's
a
up,
few
that's
years
what's up.
back.
That was 2017.
That was, and that was a while back. But it was like, I guess because of the circumstance, because I was already supposed to go, and then she just ended
and then
up
I
coming
just was
with
like,
me.
doo-doo-doo.
Yeah, she was like, all right, for sure, I'm finna come, and I'm finna surprise my sister, and it worked out.
It worked out.
Perfect.
Yeah,
That's
it
what's
was
up,
great.
man. Positive vibe.
Round 2.
Yes, round 2.
Boom, boom,
Round
boom.
And but I'm planning on just chilling. Like, I mean, but
You're not. There's so many. You don't. Anyway, we can't even talk about it because I don't want the surprises to get out
Right.
because my family be watching. So just know we are gonna be there. We are bringing California to Atlanta too.
period. Everybody's gonna know. They're gonna know. Oh, y'all ain't from around.
Period.
Right.
man.
No, I'm not.
Right, I'm not at all. You could tell.
No, I'm not.
I could tell.
Right.
Right. But anyway, so that's coming up
Right.
in June. Now the world's open. So,
Yes.
but we're not here to talk about that necessarily. It's still May.
Yes, it is May. And so if you didn't see last episode, we talked about mental health for Mental Health Awareness Month. So, that's important to all of us because no matter what, if you are like diagnosed with a mental illness or anything of that nature, like you cannot be diagnosed and still suffer from mental health issues. So like it has a big stigma on it, but like I just want people to be more comfortable talking about it and just give them some information or like just open that door so that people don't feel as awkward engaging with someone or even making a comment or digging deeper, like to ask someone how they're really feeling, because sometimes it's like you might care, but you don't know how to exactly go about showing that you care or expressing it without sounding like I'm assuming or intruding or anything of that nature, So it's like everybody has their moments.
Definitely.
So, don't, and you never know, mental illness has no face either.
And not just mental illness, but going through any type of mental health issue
period.
has no face.
Yeah,
your
of any
friends
nature.
that are the happiest sometimes need the most help.
Exactly.
And you will never know about it. You know what I mean? You will never know because it's just like what you said to touch on that. No one talks about it. And I think it's important to understand how to adapt to those things, just going off of personal experience and things of that nature. Having, known someone or been around someone or just even witnessed it with the profession that I'm in, how, okay, this response that I think that I'm giving this person, I'm trying to purposely be here and show them that I'm here as a friend or whatever the case may be, but not realizing that you're kind of like either might slightly be making the situation worse or you're just not really helping out at all. Yeah. And I think it's important to have that education, to have that understanding.
Yeah.
I think people need to also be sensitive before all else because a lot of times people want to help and they feel, like I need to do more or I need to ask questions or I need to, fight the pushback that the person that they're trying to give the help is giving them. But people forget to be sensitive because it can be frustrating trying to like get through to somebody and they're just giving you nothing. But that's a part of their process. That's a part of what they're going through is that if someone is reluctant to help, that's a red flag that they're going through something that they're probably embarrassed about. So if you do, if you are the shoulder that somebody's crying on or somebody's reaching out to, or you do feel that inside of you to want to be like, oh, I want to help, you have to, that's why there's professionals for this because you don't know what you're going to do. And you do have to go about it in a nice way and be sensitive and treat if you don't know anything else to do, my advice, because I'm not a professional and neither of us are, if anybody's a little bit more professional, it'd be that guy right there. But the first thing I would do for anybody that's wanting to give help to somebody that they love is to treat them how you would want to be treated if you were in their position. If you at your darkest moment, what you feel like you might need, sometimes you don't need to talk. Sometimes you just need to listen.
And I was going to say, and if you feel like you don't know how you would feel if it happened to you, then probably don't say anything.
Exactly.
Exactly. But when you said don't say anything, I was like thinking if you're one of those people that you're like, if it happened to me, I don't know how I would feel. Then like don't
You're
even
not the one
address
to
it.
help.
Yeah, don't like
Right.
because it is a touchy subject. But I feel like the most important thing is people feeling like it's from a place of genuineness.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not
Definitely.
like pointing fingers or
Right.
like blaming, but just genuine care. You
Right.
know, but a lot of people don't have access to services, you know, psychiatrists, psychologists, all that kind of stuff. So it's like multi-level, you know, kind of thing. And honestly, the issue, one of the big things with mental health is a lot of people don't get properly diagnosed.
Yeah.
Or diagnosed at all.
At all.
Yeah.
Right.
Due
And then they mix drugs in there, depending on their
Exactly.
age group and when this was happening, like in the 80s.
Yeah, and recreational or prescription and or both, like in any combination, and liquor, like
Yep. And then
so-
just life. You know, people
Right.
get caught up in life, and
Yeah.
you don't even have to be intoxicated or under the influence of anything. Just life. You can be
Yeah.
under the influence of life,
Yeah.
and just be stressed the fuck out and
Yeah.
not know how to. You're just not
Intoxicated with
mentally.
life's bullshit.
Yeah,
Dealing with
you.
all the
Exactly.
everyday
And if
stuff.
you
Right.
don't, and if you don't know how to handle your intoxication levels, you don't know how to handle your shit. You're gonna lose it and be the drunk in the street,
like a hamster,
literally
on
and
a hamster
figuratively.
wheel.
Literally.
You know, yeah.
All right.
have a call?
Oh, we
This
have a
filter-
caller.
We got a caller.
We got a caller.
Hey,
Hello.
caller. Who
What's
do
up,
we have
caller?
on the line?
This is Misty. Hi, guys.
Hi, sister.
Hey, Misty.
Missy.
Guys, it's my sister calling us from Texas.
Yes.
Hello.
Hey, Misty.
Hello. I was just tuning in, and I wanted to make sure that you guys also address one of the issues with mental health is accessibility.
Yes.
Like, you can
Yes.
have all these
Uh-huh.
issues, but if there isn't anything set aside, especially coming from California to the South, especially, like, you don't even have, in the South, you don't even have, like, just regular, like, I can go to the gynecologist without having to have insurance if you don't have, like, a dependent or, like, something like that. So one of the major issues is, even if you know that, like, having dealt with mental health issues myself, like, one of the issues is you can know you're going crazy, or you can know you need a moment or need something, but if you don't have any insurance, you have no line of help.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
resources.
Oh my gosh, man.
That's
So I think that
facts.
it's important to, like, it's so many different things that the government needs to do as far as legislation to make room for places like mental health issues, because we see the constant debate all the time about Planned Parenthood and religion, but we're not talking about mental health. And that, I mean, mental health would tribute to all these things as far as, like, okay, maybe we wouldn't have so many Planned Parenthood issues if we were better on our mental health. You know
That
what I mean?
part.
Right. Mhm.
That part.
Everything is so connected.
That's so
yes,
true.
everything, right.
And I think people forget, like you said, that all of these things kind of are connected in some weird way, and that it's like a trickle effect.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
you wouldn't have as
Absolutely.
many women out here either getting, you know, like unwanted pregnancies,
Right.
or they're just out in the street getting STDs,
Or having too many children,
or
like
having
people say.
having to get an abortion, or because they have these mental issues, or they have, you know, self-esteem issues that they're going and putting themselves in
Postpartum,
high
any
risk.
kind of, there's
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff, especially with pregnancy, you know?
And it's
Right.
true, because if you don't put yourself in those county lines and get the help that you need, and then even that's a process. Even if you don't have access to get in them county lines to get them doctors and shit, it's still they put you
Yes.
through. I already got issues, and now I gotta go through even more shit to
Right,
get help
on top
for
of
my
that.
issues. That shit is wild. And
crazy.
sometimes, like she said, like in California, I feel like we might have we have it a little bit better, and we still, it ain't shit here,
Right.
And it's still way better than where she's at in Texas, you know, or like it's better
Right.
in like than it
And
is in
that's-
some other little.
That's a bias too, and
Yeah.
it's like based on where you live, you know how much, or you might not even know how
Yeah.
much. Even if you live in a big
Or
city,
even-
you might feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. I'm
Or
sorry.
even another example, like right now, you guys can attest to this. If you have a child that's having issues, right?
The what? I couldn't hear
If you have a child that's having issues,
Oh.
right? If you make too much money to be able to, I mean, they're always going to give children insurance, period. But
Yeah.
what if you
Right.
make just enough money to where you're over the threshold, to where you don't qualify for assistance, to where, like, because that was one of my problems. Like, okay, you have a job, you have a reputable job, you should have insurance, but if I can't afford the insurance through my job, and y'all look at how much money I make, and y'all tell me, oh, you make too much money, get insurance for your job, like, I don't think they take into consideration, like, just the regular things of life, because if I make X amount of dollars, but insurance is $500 additional dollars
Yeah.
for a family plan.
Right.
Yeah,
Like, 'cause that's
right.
around about, my insurance was like $400 $400 and some for me and the twins. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so that's taken out of my regular household. Like, you know what I mean? If I have to pay for insurance through my job, I'm taking out of my budget for my
off
household.
the top.
And it's something that I need. So that it's so much different things that are affected by mental health. Because it's not just like it starts there. We can catch certain problems like with our kids, and hopefully it doesn't trickle into their adulthood.
Yeah,
and like,
exactly. Those generational curses.
The seriousness of mental health isn't pressed enough as far as like statistically, and I don't mean to take over y'all show. Y'all know I talk.
You know we love you, Miss.
Statistically, like there are so many different ways. Like social media has so much influence, like child suicide. Like in our generation, we didn't have these things to where if you get into a fight with a child or something, you get into a fight, you get beat up or something, it's not going to get posted for everybody to see forever.
Either you
So,
was
like,
there or you wasn't.
Right.
If you know, you know.
You
saw
get
it,
to hear
you
the
saw
stories.
Or however you want. You can tell stories however you want. But I didn't get beat up. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell stories however you want. But now they're like, no, I've seen the video.
Yeah, social media definitely played a huge part. Just like that documentary I'm always talking about, Social Dilemma on Netflix. It'll blow your mind.
Go watch Social Dilemma.
That'll give you some real statistics for that ass.
Yeah, and they say that like kids are like they're one of the like fastest growing demographic of suicide, and it's like why is that? And I feel like social media is a big influence with that because kids don't have any filter on what they know is okay or not okay, or what's for them or not for them, you know?
Exactly.
They're just absorbing it and don't know any better. And then it's creating all these mental issues, whether it's just processing it, making it make sense.
Yeah. Having
somebody they could talk to be like, what is that? You know? And then tell them instead of being like, get out of my face, I'm watching my show.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So it's like...
Or even like we're talking about mental health, and we also have to address just like physical health with mental health as far as bulimia, anorexia. These are all issues that involve mental health.
Yep,
so
and those are those ones that cross over.
Especially in certain age groups. Well, thank you for bringing up all these fantastic points. Thank you for calling in. We appreciate you. I'm going to hold up the lines too long, sister, because we got other people that want to call, little baby Carolyn.
I know y'all only got 15 minutes. All right, bye, y'all.
Okay, love you too. Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Have a good one.
But yeah, she did bring up a lot of other everything is just one big trickling effect. And I feel like people also don't realize that the different generations that are going through the different things that have to do with social media, every age group is like affected or unaffected differently by social media, and it plays on our mental health in different ways.
Absolutely.
And it's like just because it doesn't affect us doesn't mean that it's not affecting, you know, your little brother or my little brother that are like in their early 20s, you know, late 20s. Like they still received social media differently. They still look at the world differently. They still view everything through that phone. Whereas we could like literally disconnect from our phones and not give a shit. And they're going to be like, how do I do anything? And
their lives
you know
don't
what
even
I mean?
happen without their cell phone.
Yeah, and without their phones,
they don't even know.
It changes their mental health from not having their phone. Like something as small as not being able to check their social media for one day.
Right.
Is like completely
the
detrimental
Wi-Fi
to them.
is down.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi is down. Exactly.
Oh my gosh, I need it.
That's
all right. Well, guys.
Right? We're
getting prepared.
Yeah, we also I do have someone that will be Zooming in with us. It's a friend of mine, and we're going to have her chime in a little bit about what she would like to address, which is another portion of that goes along with mental health and everything, which is something that is huge out here in Los Angeles, which is the homeless population, which is a combination of regular people down on their luck, people with mental health issues, substance abuse, you know, like
a little bit of everything.
Goes on. Yeah, but it's kind of like a lost I don't want to say like lost community, but
definitely not lost. It's definitely a growing community within Los Angeles for multitudes of reasons.
Well, I mean, I guess lost from society is what I'm thinking of, like swept under the rug along with
they're taking
mental
over
illness,
at this point.
right?
In a
There's
sense,
so many. It's
like
sad.
Rejects it though, in a sense too.
Yeah,
so,
especially in LA, those high-rise apartments downtown. Those people are paying thousands of dollars to step over people and to get into their big ass buildings,
Right.
and driving right past them into their $4,000 condos,
Right.
in downtown LA. So it's anyway, but carry on.
Right. Okay. Well,
We'll keep going. Carry on.
okay. Well, we're gonna bring her right in and let her get to it. So this is my friend, and I'm gonna let her introduce herself and just tell us a little bit about what she does, and if we have you in. Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
How you doing?
I am good. It is so good to be here.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Welcome to You Got 15 Minutes.
Yeah.
I just see my own face on here, and I wish I could keep seeing you guys. Like the moment you got there, you are. Okay, cool. I was like, I don't want to look at myself that long. All right. Okay. So yeah, my name is Michelle Evans. I'm currently a domestic violence case manager, and I work in a program that houses women who are currently fleeing from domestic violence and are homeless because of domestic violence.
Okay.
So that's just one population in
one slither of the pie, huh?
a very huge population.
Yeah.
And this is a new role for me. I actually, for about 2 years prior to this current role, I was an outreach case manager and housing navigator. So I would literally be out in the streets with a team, sometimes solo, out in MacArthur Park, like literally like earning my stripes off the streets in the hood and like helping people get linked to resources if that's what they want. Sometimes they, you know, everybody's different. And so like my whole role, like across agencies at the end of the day is like, how can I be of service? And that means like listening to someone and them not wanting services, then by all means, you know, and so, yeah, like it's a chaotic field, and it's a really chaotic time right now because I feel like, you know, you guys were tapping on a great point with these high rises downtown and these developments happening where there's empty lofts. Dude, like there's empty places people can't afford to live.
There's empty buildings, yo.
Empty
like there's complete empty buildings.
Facts.
I got a loft for my birthday in March and was looking into another building that was filled with fucking cars. That shit pissed me off. Why is it a parking lot and there's a whole street of people that need somewhere to fucking sleep? I'm sorry.
Right. And there's a shelter that Path, the people assisting the homeless, an agency I was with, they built a shelter off Riverside Boulevard in Los Feliz. And I don't know if you guys know, like, I'm sure y'all know about that neighborhood because I know like Jocelyn, you're from, you know, like Hancock
Mid-City,
Park.
baby. Yep.
Yeah. And so, you know, it's a really rich
it's a
neighborhood.
Yeah.
And they were actually protesting the shelter going up there.
The rich people
were
mad about the shelter?
There's a lot of really rich people in LA and unshockingly Orange County that do not want our shelters being built. And it's at a point where like they've harassed our own homeless population so much that people basically don't even feel like they can go out in public when they're in a shelter because of the economic disparity.
Yeah.
And what's extra crazy is there's this, additionally in Los Feliz, there's this big ass empty haunted house called the Los Feliz Murder Mansion or some shit like that.
Of course they go ahead. Go for it, girl.
You heard me.
Go be you, okay?
This is your 15 minutes.
I knew what I was doing here. Go off, okay?
And there's this abandoned mansion where this murder occurred, and the neighbors in this neighborhood actually pay to maintain, like this whole community maintains
the HOA
building
where people were murdered.
Yeah, where, you know, this man lost his mind and bludgeoned his wife and killed himself. His children survived. And the home is this creepy preserve from Christmas Day when he decided to commit the
Not
atrocity.
Christmas Day.
Yeah, there's like presents. I got sneaky.
Not-
When the guy like went onto
What? See, I need the scope.
I saw for myself.
Look, see, that's a her move.
That's totally a me move.
total
That's
her
a me.
move.
I'm like, we
She's
need to hang out.
No, you would love it. Bet.
Oh my god.
Wow.
She's
I'll
too
make
busy
sure
out
I have
here.
my mask.
She's out here
too.
changing
She's out
the
here
world
thugging in the
and like
streets.
saving
Making
lives.
it
So
happen,
I
man.
mean,
Gotta stay anonymous.
She's busy.
But-
Right. You should have worn a mask.
Nonetheless, wow. So, point is though, these white people will keep a creepy Christmas killing mansion alive and well,
Right.
but are upset about these living homeless people that need somewhere to sleep who are not trying to kill, murder, or fucking anything else to the community.
But I'm sure they have plenty of great murder stories to share with these rich ass people who don't have any.
And they
Like,
have their own murder stories.
We can find a common denominator. People just
Right.
gave a shit.
I see. That's the shit that pisses me off.
Not a Christmas.
Now, if this
creepy
is not
murder
a
house.
mental health issue
I was
that
just
these
about to
white
say
people
that
want
shit.
to keep the mansion alive.
I was like, I want
I was
every
just
name on
about
the
to say
list,
that
and
is
y'all
a
need to be
problem, man.
committed. Like y'all need to
I
go
don't
get
know.
I can't.
something.
I don't want to
The
go on
guy
a
who
tangent.
uses it, it's just the guy who owns it was a friend of the dude who murdered everybody, and then now
Bruh.
He's like, keep hope alive.
I
Like,
could not be that dude.
why
he
would
uses
you
it as storage? It's a big
Bruh.
mansion used for storage.
with dead people in it? Like,
Right? It's
You
like
might as well
self-defense.
turn it into an Airbnb.
is it, wait, but
wait,
is
wait,
it like
wait.
a monument, or is it just the community has taken privately to like maintain it and pay for it? It's not like a
They're
monument.
maintaining it so that it doesn't. I think it's so that it doesn't bring down the value. in the
Yeah,
neighborhood.
so it doesn't look all
Wow.
janky, and they be like, "What's going on with that house?"
See, and that just goes to show you, for all those people that are homeless, that we care more about Michael Vick and those dogs. We care more about this
Woo.
fucking Christmas killing mansion. We care more about like the most stupidest things, but we don't care about the guy who's somebody's dad, who's somebody's mom, who's somebody's sister, it's somebody's grandpa, somebody's whatever, that's in the street and probably just needed a therapist 25 years ago.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
instead of housing that guy, they're worried about a mansion.
Right.
That
Right.
just, and what does it tell that person? That just tells them society, like you said, whoever said it, society doesn't want you. They care more about this
rejection, it's
mansion
like-
that no
Yeah.
one lives in.
Yeah.
It
That's-
reinforces
yeah.
the invisibility of people experiencing homelessness. And
Yes.
I mean, there's all kinds of people outdoors who, it's a privilege to be able to hear the stories I've heard and have met the people
Yeah,
I've met.
definitely.
And it's like, it's heartbreaking because it's when we see people in the community that have such negative opinions about someone and people that it's too complex to have just one opinion about, oh, they're
Yeah.
not working, or oh, they're
Right.
or it's this,
Why
or
can't
it's
they
this
just
all.
get a job?
And it's like, oh my God. I mean, it
Mhm.
took me so long to get qualified for what I do now.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like, if you've ever looked at like the housing authority's website, and for
It's
LA County,
trash.
it's like public information, it's just out there.
It's
Yeah.
ratchet.
The waiting list to get a Section 8 voucher if you need rental assistance is 10 years.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
it's like
for an
8
interview.
years.
For an
Not
yeah,
for an interview.
interview.
For an interview.
Yeah, that's wild.
That
and then
is
what kills me
crazy.
about that too is like it's a housing authority website that's trying to get people on Section 8 because obviously they can't afford housing, but then they have all those stipulations that are like you have to work within a certain, like you have to work within 5 miles, or but how about if I don't work? So now if I don't work, do I get disqualified off that list, or like do I not fill like, you know, what if I don't know how to even read all these words on this paper?
Right.
How do I
Yeah,
get to
that's
the
exactly
website?
what part
How
of
do
my
I get to the
job is.
website and understand what's even on
Which
there?
is part of the level.
Yeah,
right?
it's like there's so
Yeah.
many things. I feel like it's just wild that so many hoops have to be
It's
jumped
like a
through.
Mario video game. Every level.
Oh,
Dude.
yeah.
Right.
Stronger
To get to
Bowser,
the final
you just-
boss,
man.
huh?
And how do you make the hardest things the things that are supposed to be the most accessible, like help? Why do we have the help if these people can't get to it? Like everybody didn't get past 8th grade to even know how to read.
Yeah.
Everybody didn't get, even if they did make it past 8th grade, everybody didn't learn on an 8th grade
Yeah.
level. And now they're just out here, not to mention if we're on drugs, then that's a whole nother.
And some just simply
And then
don't have the
it's like, if
developmental.
I would love to, it gets cold at night. People, it's like if you're afraid to go to sleep because you're outside because of the fact that like people get robbed constantly
Yeah.
when they're experiencing homelessness.
Mhm.
Like the moment you're outside, your exposure, your danger, risk escalates immediately.
Yeah.
Like the moment, especially if you're a woman of color, like the more of a minority you are, the more invisible you are. And our system won't, we know cops don't do shit. Our system isn't doing shit to help people. So it's like when you get victimized and traumatized when shit goes wrong and life goes wrong, because it does, like we have a society that's reinforcing that this kind of victim blaming mentality of like, well, you must have done some karmic shit.
Right. Or
you, like, don't touch
you had on
me,
some
please.
short shorts, or like you were asking for it. You looked a certain way or whatever. You shouldn't have said anything to him.
Right.
You should have just been quiet. Like,
that
like,
the notion that people that these any person in that situation is like choosing to be there, and there's a reason that they were there. They had to do something wrong. Like I know somebody who just got out of a relationship and was had a child and didn't have any other choice but to end up on Skid Row. And thank God that person made it through because she kept her shit together with her baby. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and she's younger than me, so I
those are all the
couldn't.
people I look for too. It's like, oh my God, because I'm in a
people.
voucher program, and what surprises me, it's like, okay, I can find the clients. I got the money from the agency to put somebody in an apartment, and now what I'm up against are landlords who just don't take our poor people money. It's like, we don't work with voucher programs. We don't work with your people. Like the discrimination's wild. And
I could imagine.
There are times where I'm like, thank God I can sound like a white lady on the phone.
Right.
Michelle, hi, this is Michelle. I'm just calling.
Hi. Like, I'll do whatever I got to fucking get people somewhere. And it's crazy how the discrimination is wild. Like, it's the way landlords can just turn people away. And I mean, I have clients who are currently like about to give birth and they're outside and there's literally nothing that we can do except like be like, this is terrible, hurry up and wait in line and I'll wait with you and we're gonna have hope. And we're gonna have hope, we're gonna have safety plans, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and I try to connect people with whatever resource they're willing to get connected to if they are. And it's asking a lot because like, the only thing that's available for like immediate housing is shelters. And people get more traumatized in shelters. They're not.
Right. Because it's not rehabilitative. It's just, you're just there.
Just a room. But it's not even secure.
That. It'll be
That's a trauma space. Right. It's a hostel style.
Yeah. It's hostel. Hostels are probably nicer than that.
Still,
you can have no storage.
It's like you put all these people that are going through either mental issues, maybe nothing at all, just hard times, people that are just, in the wrong headspace, and it's like you put them all in a room together and expect things to like go
for
perfect.
them to get good.
Yeah,
it's not gonna work.
If you think reality TV is fucked up, imagine.
That's the real That's where that's the real live reality TV that they need to get.
Reality TV that we watch.
Right, I would watch it. That's my total.
No, I would totally watch a show of somebody that's doing what she's doing, that you, Michelle, are doing, and like a camera following you around. Just seeing the stuff that you go through and the stories that you hear and like the success stories and the failure stories, like you just said, people about to give birth outside and that like exposing it and bringing awareness to it, because people don't realize that there are women out on the street about to give birth. Like you just hear about it, and it's not not their fault.
And sometimes,
but I'm interested if I could ask Michelle, what is the demographic like as far as like the age group in regards to these women that are about to give birth?
I mean, I work with all ages.
Okay.
So as long as, they tend to be young in their 30s, 20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just highly concerned because I work with foster youth, and I was thinking like a lot of times we find that some of the young ladies go AWOL. And a lot of them turn into these homeless
the pregnant
students that end up having children, and I was just a little like curious about that.
That's real.
Yeah.
Especially it's like because I focus a lot on the social work side of things, where it's like I'm seeing the environments that you're talking, and it's like so many of our youth and community don't have the supportive environment. It's like it generates statistics,
Right.
and creates more statistics. Like it's
Yes.
like technically, like if I were just statistics, I wouldn't be alive.
You
And
wouldn't
I think
exist, right?
Yeah.
like according to statistics, I should be outside pregnant myself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like,
For
I should
real.
be down. I should be there with you.
No,
joining
like
you,
all of
like-
us.
Right.
Like literally
Just
all
like-
of us.
Yeah, like based on, there was something, it's called the ARES in social school. It's a trauma scale,
Uh-huh.
and you have to, it's an assessment. And it's one of these things, like I realize it's like, oh, okay, like I technically, according to society, should be a part of this demographic, but
Right.
I, for some reason, am not. And I'll use any privilege I have in my life to try and share that, or use the work as it's a humility experience too.
Yeah.
Big time.
What if you don't mind me asking, what took you, like what brought you into that line of work? Like how did you
Yes.
end up where you're at? Because not a lot of people are brave enough to do what you do, and hats off to you for everything that you
Yes.
do.
I salute
Shit,
you.
you gotta have the
I
fucking
salute you.
I was like, you totally
brain.
love her. I
I
don't know why
already do.
you
I already
know.
do. I already
Real,
do.
the love is real, it's mutual. Yeah, no, I honestly, I'm a survivor myself. I grew up seeing my mom go through domestic violence and be terrified of becoming homeless. And she started her own business and
Wow.
helped people experiencing homeless. Like she would, she had a restaurant, and she would give food to people out living outside. And she actually would trained 18th Street thugs, like straight gangsters, how to be chefs, like Michelin
Wow.
French chef.
Michelin 5-star.
Wow.
Okay.
She's like the original Homeboy Industries.
She's
Right.
like, ironically, both, and my dad did great work too. So it's like that. I come from this place
This is
where
in your
like,
blood.
You're a philanthropist seed. Like
Yeah.
you were
You're built for this.
both,
fruit.
both my parents did stuff, and like my dad definitely, chose to behave in some ways that to this day I don't approve of. But it's also why this role is super important, because my title, the work I'm doing in the community, always puts in his face, like, you cannot deny the accountability. Like,
Yeah.
if you hadn't abused my mother,
I was gonna say he
Yeah.
created
Be here.
he created
Yeah.
the soldier
you
in
hadn't.
Yeah.
Right. And and he also did teach me a lot. Like both of them did a lot in the community.
Yeah.
So I automatically grew up like knowing if you have privilege, you give back.
Yeah.
That's it. Like you give back to people.
So-
And that's just the mentality. And I had to get out of the corporate fashion stuff, because I used to do that, and then I found myself connecting more with people living outside, and I was just like, why don't people see people?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Why
Yeah.
don't people? I
Yeah,
don't get
I don't
this.
know.
Like, I'm,
Wow, you did like a total 360 from fashion to helping
Yeah.
the homeless. That's a complete like
Yes.
what?
So
I did.
that leads to my question that I have for you, Michelle, which is, how do you manage your mental health with
Yeah.
going through all this and talking
Good
to
question.
people? And I know you're an empath as well, so I know, like,
Do you
it
go to
can
therapy?
be a little bit much taking on all that energy and, like,
Right,
all those
right, right.
conversations and what happened to them and what could I do? What more could I do? Like, I don't know. I feel like I would be keeping myself up at night, like
Yeah.
worried,
yeah. I mean, and there are those nights, like, we get traumatized with our clients. Like, there's something that you even get traumatized just by hearing certain kinds of atrocities that just like should not happen to people.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what I do is I journal, I practice self-care real hard, and I got a
Okay.
good group of friends, good community.
Good.
And I just drink water and write.
Hello.
People
Water
underestimate
is
water.
the key to
Water is necessary,
life.
man.
I
I'm
pray a lot.
team
Like,
water.
I have a
Yeah.
good relationship with God, higher
Yeah.
power.
That's
Like,
what's up, man.
that's what reinforces, everything. And yeah, and just, that's that. It's constant work. It's exhausting, and setting boundaries.
Yeah.
I think boundaries is like the big
Right.
thing.
Right. Right.
Boundaries are
Not
key.
taking on
Mm.
not
boundaries.
taking on the burden or making myself
Yes.
feel responsible for
Right.
like why people are
Yes.
outside.
Yeah.
Like, that's a whole different level, like, of
Yeah.
guilt you just cannot take on.
Right.
Yeah, because that'll have you in the
That-
trenches. You'll just be there like,
Man.
Yeah. See, and
Trying to
I,
get the
I'll be up in that
Too
Los Feliz murder house.
we need to clear this out.
Right.
We can get beds in here.
You're right.
Yeah.
You'll be out there with a one person picket, like, no.
Hey, Michelle, I just want to say something to you, man. I always tell my partners, like, man, you never know who you can inspire. You never know who you can motivate. You never know who you can have a positive effect on. One of the things and the principles that I'm really focused and honed in on my life recently has been appreciation. I just want to say that I appreciate you. I appreciate you because seeing that your efforts and hearing your story, how you overcome something, it does something for someone else. You just help somebody else level up today, and I appreciate that. Even for myself, I feel a little inspired and motivated. Okay,
Right.
boom. When I talk to this student tomorrow, this is what's about to happen.
Yeah.
I'm about to say something like this, and I'm going to really come the way I wanted to because in my heart is what I was feeling, it's what I was thinking, it was what I wanted to see as far as progress. And I can see that from her. I love that from her, man. That's what's up. I appreciate that, Miss Evans.
Yeah. Right? We have a new friend of You Got 15 Minutes.
Man, you
we
got
have to
15
have her
minutes?
come back
We
and
got
talk
time.
to us.
We gotta
some
do
more.
this again.
Yeah, you're definitely always welcome. And so I'm going to just, because I already, we're already keyed in, I'm going to just give you the question that I was already going to give them. So I'm going to give you the jump so you can answer it too. Because you haven't, I don't know if you've experienced the questions
so
yet or not.
in case you don't know, we're jumping into Jocelyn's questions.
Yeah, we are.
She skipped the segue. We're jumping into Jocelyn's questions.
I want to just take advantage of the fact that I have her on the line still. So I'm going to just bring her in on it now, too.
So we're moving on from mental health.
Because she's so awesome, I want to hear.
I know, I'm just saying for the listeners so they know what's going on because you just jumped.
We did. Sorry. If y'all don't know.
We're moving on to Jocelyn's questions.
The questions. Okay, so my question for you. Your ex sends you $4,000 for your birthday, but your man or woman tells you to return it. What are you doing?
Putting it in a savings account.
Right? Like, who are you to tell me, can I have that money or no?
It's a gift.
Right. That's how I feel too. Like, I wouldn't care.
Wait, so say it again.
Your ex sends you $4,000 for your birthday. Your man or woman tells you to return it. What are you doing?
I'm not giving it back. I'm not giving it back either. Nah.
I think we all can agree on that.
I feel like for the sake of my mental health, that money was a gift.
Shut up.
And it's meant for me to enjoy. And it wasn't given to me to return. It was meant to bring a smile on my face. And I'm, so I'm keeping it. And I'll spend some of it on you. Shut the fuck up. Go sit down. I'll buy you dinner.
Right. That's how I would feel. Like, you got to be like, I need my percentage at least. Like, to make it fair. Like, you'll hear my mouth, but I want my percentage. And then we can go. We're in the
I'm
clear.
sharing, especially if this is an ex that it's like, what the fuck did you send me this for? Nigga, we going shopping. I'm saying we going to eat good for the week.
But see, I think it depends on what ex too. Because, there's always like
that don't matter.
I'd be asking them why they sending me that money in the first place.
Hello.
What if they trying to set you up?
Right. What kind of setup is this? Was this an accident?
But I feel like if your ex sends you that and they just, even if they don't give me, if they don't give me an explanation, I just have it. I just need to know, are you for real? Once you say, yeah, it's a ride.
I mean, once you sent it, it's for real. It's in my account.
Okay, we good to go. We good to go.
Once you hit send and Cash App receives,
I feel like
gone.
that you blessed me with something like, just like you said, for your mental health, for my psyche over here, I'm feeling good.
Clearly, you wanted to make me happy, so I'm going to give that to you.
Pretty boy energy, you feel me? Once I want it, 4 bands. Oh.
I'm just going to send the cute thank you.
Feel me?
That's it.
Yeah.
Treat yourself.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Treat yourself.
Exactly.
Well, thank you, Michelle, for
Thank you.
zooming in with us. You're always welcome. You could call. You could come in here. You could Zoom.
Whatever you
You're
want.
always welcome. You know this. So
I'm going to pop in.
Yeah, you got to come in.
through,
We're
come
COVID
through.
friendly over here.
Most
So
definitely.
and if you have some suggestions of other topics you want to talk about, let us know.
Yes. Thank you so much for
Yes,
having
yes,
me.
yes.
I absolutely will stay in touch. I'm so
Yes.
grateful.
Yeah, thank you for coming
Thank
on.
you.
man.
Yes,
For
and thank you
sure.
for the work that you do.
I
and
know.
Thank you for your energy and for just being
For
you,
your
'cause
service.
Appreciate that. For real,
I
for
can
real.
tell that you go out with intention, with love, and I can feel it through the screen and in my ears.
It's genuine,
and
you
I
feel
know
me?
that you make
Yes.
a difference when you go out there and do the work that you do.
I know.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
Kudos
there's a
to
lot
you.
of other people. I will thank you for all the people that haven't had a chance
Exactly.
to thank you.
That part.
So thank you for all that you do. I'm over here getting emotional. Like,
That's what's up. You need people like this, man. You need people
I
like
know,
this, man.
right?
I really appreciate you for that, man. For real.
yes. So thank you
For
for
real.
all that you do. And I hope you go worldwide with it.
Bam, bam,
You're
bam,
out
bam.
here. You're going to be out there in the mountains. Like,
I sure hope so. We gotta get.
Wait, before you go, since we were talking about this. How do you feel about what they did at Echo Park, or was it MacArthur Park?
Oh God, how do I feel? I feel a very deep type of way about it. I was actually like very close to the teams that were involved with all of that too.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
like that was
a shit show.
That was messy.
Well, explain for the people that don't know, because I read a little bit about it, but I didn't read too deep. So, what did they do exactly?
Well, I could have said they demobilized, but they basically they went into Echo Park and did these sweeps
in the middle of the night.
They don't give people any notice. So the city the city fenced up Echo Park, sent all these police out for people.
It looked like a riot.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was all of that.
Yeah, it looked like a whole riot.
Wow.
They sent a bunch of case managers out there to try and get people into something called PRK, which is the Project Room Key, which is this motel voucher program that emerged due to COVID. And it's got its problems because there's curfews. There's, there's case managers there worried about, maintaining these properties again. And I get it. Like we do want to maintain the physical places.
But it's like, see, people care more about the actual tangible things and people's spirit and their well-being and their livelihood and quality of life.
Exactly. And those sites, they're not managed that well. It's this whole new thing people are implementing, kind of just like figuring shit out as they go.
Two people at home working, like, okay, let me respond to your email. It's COVID,
Yeah, you have these higher ups that are making these big decisions for entire communities of people that they have no clue.
Right.
They can't even make choices for.
They can't even know where it's at. They're like, it sounds rich.
They can't even relate to it. They can't even relate, know? So
and and it makes things worse because they're not consistent with the services either. So it's like, okay, y'all gonna go offer these vouchers that take about a month for people to actually get a call back on.
Yeah, right.
People are gonna move throughout the community and change. Hollywood got inundated with population, theft escalated, like everything escalated. And it's like, if the community had actually prepared people and gave them some damn respect and some time and some space and did I say respect?
Right. Emphasis on respect.
Like everything I own would absolutely look like trash if you took these walls away.
Yeah,
like
no doubt.
Walls away, and it was just me and my dog and my shit outside. I'd look pretty fucked up.
Yeah,
and I don't feel like. I actually feel like Echo Park had a really nice little community going, and there were definitely controversies, but this is why the community needs to participate. Like residents, people who are experiencing homelessness, who do. Have that ability to advocate for
business owners in the community. It's like it's really a community effort. And it's on every level. It's not like the homeowners. It's the businesses, the people that visit. It's everyone.
It's political. It's everybody, and the information's public. So it's like the information's out there for every single thing we don't know, we can find out.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly.
Google is the thing.
And I heard that the Echo Park's opening back up on the 26th. So I'm interested. No, of May.
Oh, of May? Of this month?
Yeah, of May.
Yeah, this month.
Wow.
So I'm interested.
They really cleaned it up. Like they transformed it. I haven't seen it yet, but it's supposed they got new paddle boats,
everything,
like
all the shit they didn't need, they got that they could have used to house all those people that they fucking
golden statue of Garcetti for some reason.
Fucking bullshit,
Somebody needs to go draw a mustache on it, or
somebody needs to go knock its head off.
And hop that so fast.
Right. Put some tidy whities on his head or something. Like do something.
Right, put some bunny ears on him.
That is
throw it in the lake.
Draw a little dick on his
face.
They
could barely. They was snatching down all those statues that they had of all those old slave owners and all that other stuff. I'm like, he need to go too.
He needs to go too.
They need to get him too, because I'm like,
it's gonna be him and Newsom. It's gonna be all kind of memes and shit.
Exactly. I'm gonna take a picture. Like, oh yeah, we're here.
Okay. Well. I forgot about the Echo Park thing, so I definitely wanted to get your perspective. So thank you for letting me throw that in there.
Thank
Last
you so
minute.
much.
Yes.
I'll be in touch.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
New friend
Have
of
a
the
great
show.
night.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Michelle. It's been an honor.
Yes.
Thank you for blessing us.
Yes, sir.
And take care. Have a good night.
Till next
Talk
time.
to you soon, right?
Yay.
Yes.
I'm so glad. She's awesome. Why
like
have you
her.
been depriving me of her all this time? All this time.
I be at work. She be out here in the streets.
Ain't that everybody excuse me?
I'm like,
everything?
Because I was like, I did know her. I mean, I've known her as long as I've known you.
Oh, well, I feel deprived.
Yeah, I don't know. But
She most definitely deprived you.
Even see.
she's one of my shortstop buddies. Remember when I was
Bruh.
like, you was on the shortstop?
We were probably going at the same time.
Yeah, you was there with Danielle. That
Yeah, I
her,
was there on other nights.
Yeah.
Now I don't go to that bar. Anyway.
Right. Anyway.
I'm glad we had her because that was,
She's
another,
a gem.
She's
Yes.
She is.
She's
And
amazing.
to me, those people, because like I consider myself a people person. I consider myself a helpful person, but I don't have the emotional and mental capacity to put myself in those situations, which is why I'm not a therapist, which is why I'm not a vet, which is why I'm not any of those things that require you to separate your emotions from your work.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I'm too invested.
She'll
And
be there trying
the
to
way,
fight him on Facebook. Like, I gotta find out what
the way
happened.
that she even was like, you become traumatized by the things that you hear. I'm already
Right.
sensitive to the shit on social media that I don't want my brain to see.
Right.
So I couldn't imagine going out and physically seeing that shit. I would lose my shit every day.
I like what she said. She said boundaries, right?
Right.
And a lot of times I think we as individuals forget to set those boundaries, just emotional and mental. I have to do this shit every day, like all the time.
All the time.
And I've had moments where I'm just like, man, I'm really upset right now. Just can't really explain why, but I know why. Deep down in my subconscious, this situation for this individual is fucked up. I wish that it was like something else that I could do. But you know what, JP, check this out. At the end of the day, you still got this to go do. You still got to go talk to people because you got 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So, hello, we just got to, create those boundaries and things of that nature. But, yeah, I really appreciate what she does, though.
Yes.
She fucking inspired me, low key.
Man,
I'm
no,
telling you.
look, he all
No,
juice.
I'm just,
He's
We
been
gonna
jacked
get back
up on
to
Mountain
this,
Dew,
right?
guys.
We gonna talk back to this.
He's been jacked up on Mountain Dew.
And line up.
And lineup.
It's hitting today. It's hitting.
Oh
It's
my
hitting.
gosh,
It's
man.
hitting. It's hitting. It's hitting.
I love it though. But I think that, going back to people with mental health, it was something I wanted to say earlier. I just got kind of caught up because, I was in my head a little bit. But I think that sometimes with a person with mental health, you need people that can do what she's able to do. What I simply mean is like, the level of empathy just has to be there.
Yes.
A lot of times, sometimes people want to be supportive and they're sympathetic as hell to the situation. That's cool and all that. But a lot of people need empathy. And then if you could just like have that and you just look, I'm just like the lady that went and sat down next to the lady, you know what I'm saying, during the trial, during that time frame. Stuff like that, it goes a long way. It goes a long way. That's just one of my biggest, encouragers where, look, man, just be there. Don't say nothing. If you know you can't touch it, that ain't your field. I mean, all you can do is just sit there and be a listener. Just be in the air. That's a lot of times people just need a little bit to talk about and get off their chest.
Usually the people that don't need you to say anything necessarily, that want to just be heard, are the people that are taking everything in. Those, like, just because I don't need you to talk back to me, I'm just letting it out. That opens up one door, which opens up another door, which makes me open my door a little bit more. And now I've opened the windows, and now next thing I got the garage open, and you sitting in here and we're watching TV. Because before that, I'm peeking through the windows like,
right,
while I'm saying what I'm saying, because and people are always trying to like figure out who's the one to talk to, or like who's the one. And if I know I want to talk to somebody and I'm sending out my tentacles trying to figure out who I could talk to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be able to pick up on what that person needs and be able to know, like, this tentacle doesn't need me to talk. This tentacle just needs me to sit and listen. And then eventually you can ask questions, because I'm a question asker, because I'm a problem solver. So when I hear when people pour into me, I'm like, oh, you need me for something, so let me listen. And then I apply my questions accordingly, because not everybody can. If you don't, it's discovery. If you don't ask questions, you can't figure things out. It's impossible for. That's why therapists don't really talk to you. They ask you questions and they listen to you, because
they respond based on what you say.
Yeah, Yeah,
Exactly.
and I feel like people think of questions as invasive, or people think of that, like, especially when you're going through something in your own mind, it sounds like antagonizing, or it can sound intimidating, or it can sound like you're just trying to get information out of me so you can use it against me because I'm on defense, when really it's like I'm trying to figure out how we can navigate your problem and what you need. So I have to figure it out. Doctors you don't go to the doctor and you're like, it hurts, and they don't go, okay, here's some Tylenol. They go, where? How does it hurt? How long has it been hurting? Where does it hurt when I do this? Does it hurt when I do this? They ask questions, and it's the same thing with your mental. I need to ask you questions to figure you out. So if you know you're going through something and you maybe don't know how to start and say and how to be like, hey, I need help, and announce it. If you have somebody who's constantly nagging you and someone who's constantly saying, are you okay? Did you eat today? Or how you feeling? How was last night? Are you all right? The people that are checking in on you and really asking you those questions that are making you fucking uncomfortable, those are the people that are really looking out for you. Those are the ones that are really like, yeah, something's wrong, and I'm going to keep bugging you because I know something's wrong. And eventually you're going to either tell me to shut the fuck up because something's wrong, or you're going to tell me what's wrong. You know? Eventually, something's going to happen.
Yeah, I think it's just, you never know what someone's going through. What someone's going through and how you're going to touch someone, or like the smallest little thing could like trigger them in a positive way as opposed to a negative way.
Because they may not be ready to receive what you're giving them, you know, and that sometimes it scares people away. I made a post the other day to me that applies to this, is sometimes we shine brighter than we shine so bright that the people we want to see us, they don't see us. We blind them with how bright we are. Because whether I'm too bright with how I speak to you, and it makes you like, oh, or I'm too bright because I'm too helpful, or I'm too bright because I'm holding you accountable, or whatever it is.
Your aura disrupts what they got going on simply because, and I could say this just as a testament, when I really come at somebody with, yo, what's up? What's going on? How you been, man? What's up with everything? They be thrown off.
Like, oh, you care.
And there's some people who, like, unfortunately, there's some people who hate that.
Yeah.
They don't even know why
it frustrates them.
They get mad at, like,
why do you care?
Because they struggle. I think that's a struggle with vulnerability.
Yeah, that too.
Like, and because feeling like trust of feeling like you don't care. Like, what you asking for, you don't care. Like, when people are like, how was your day? Especially
if you're used to getting let down, or used to being gaslit, or you're used to somebody using them asking you questions and them giving you the answer, and now they're using your answer against you. You know what I'm saying? So it's all a sick cycle that I also feel like people don't know how to navigate the fact that they are learning how to be. People don't know how to recognize, like, I'm going through something. I'm trying to grow, or I don't know how I'm going to navigate this, and I don't know how I'm going to react to it. So when someone comes at me like, oh, let me come help you, it can scare, because I still don't even know what I'm doing. Yeah. I still don't even know how my growth process is going. I went
through this situation 9 times, and it's flight response.
Right.
That 10th time didn't
even,
it didn't even, you know what, that person was really trying to help me, but I'm so used to running away, I didn't even try.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden, your flight response is immediately activated, and all of a sudden, you can miss out on something.
And it's all from trauma, and it all comes from something that happened before. But we'll keep going on and on if we don't stop at some point. If you gave us 15 more minutes, we would keep going for another 15 more minutes and another 15 more minutes. But unfortunately, we only got a few minutes. So thanks for joining us again.
Appreciate it.
It's always a good time here. Thanks, Michelle, again, for coming through. Our woman of the evening.
Michelle, come back.
I know, right?
Come on back.
And I'm gonna try and post some links to some resources that I found too for mental health as well. So if you guys are interested in that, go to the You Got 15 Minutes page on Facebook. Make sure you follow us there on Instagram, and like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram.
Yep.
Yes, and we'll be here every first and third Wednesday, pretty much every other Wednesday.
Yep. 7
p.m.
You know what time.
Facebook Live. Don't forget to tune in.
Yep. Or watch it on Morris Media Studios YouTube channel.
Woo woo.
Afterwards.
Yep.
Thank you, folks.
Peace
See you next time.
Woo.